In God knows what day of more frustration in this country, today our Tanaiste, Simon Harris, came out and he was asked, are the people of Ireland getting value, bang for their buck, for the money that's been spent on IPAS centres, refugees, asylum seekers, whatever? And the answer was absolutely not. Now, let's just think about that for a second, right? Could you imagine that level of incompetence coming out in the private sector? To put it into context, let's just say, I don't know, the CEO of, I don't know, Coca-Cola, right? Let's just say he was interviewed and the question asked to him was, are your clients, are your customers getting value for money by, investing in and buying your product, Coca-Cola? And the answer he would give was no, absolutely not. We could actually do it way better. We could do it a hell of a lot cheaper, but sure, fuck it. Do you know what? Nobody really pulls me up on anything. So now you're not getting value, but, deal with it. Because that's pretty much what's being said to us. And again, to put it into context, like, who brokers the deals with the accommodation providers? Who agrees the rates with the accommodation providers? Because that's pretty much where it starts as to why we're not getting value. And again, the example is there's a hotel in Drogheda that was making €1 million bottom line every year trading as a hotel. And incredibly, the contracts they were awarded to turn it from a hotel into basically an IPAS centre or for housing asylum seekers or refugees, whatever you want to call it, they were offered €13 million. Let's think about that, right? So they were making one trading as a hotel, and then the government offered them 13 to cease trading as a hotel and turn it into an IPAS centre. Now, let's be honest here, right? Let's again put this into context. Let's say I'm the owner of a hotel, which, by the way, we can go down another rabbit hole, but I'll leave that for somebody else to do. 12 months beforehand, it was sold to a Chinese consortium who 6 months later were awarded a contract to turn it in to the IPAS centre or for housing asylum seekers or refugees, whatever way you want to call it. It's all the same thing. So, but we'll go down that rabbit hole another day. But could you imagine if you owned a hotel or if you owned your accommodation, guest house, B&B, private houses that were offered this contract to that amount, to that value? Basically, you were taken aside and say, listen, we're going to offer you pretty much one of the biggest lottos that was ever won in the country, 13 million a year. And you go, Jesus, that sounds fantastic. No, wait, there's more. What's more? We're going to give it to you every year. Probably for the foreseeable future. What do you mean? Well, we'll just renew that every year and every year and every year and every year until, till we can't get away with it any longer, That's what's happening, and that's what's happened all around the country. So when the Taoiseach comes out and says, no, absolutely not, there's no way we're getting value for the money that's being spent on this, like, you were the guys who gave these rates, whether it be the Department of Integration or the Department of Housing. You were the guys who negotiated these rates and gave it to these hotels. It's your fault you're not getting bang for your buck, as you like to put it. It's your fault that the taxpayer is being screwed and fleeced. Let's not even go down the rabbit hole of 80 to 90% of what's here shouldn't be here. That we're spending all this money on people that we shouldn't be spending this money on. Forget about that for a second. You are the guys who have made it so that we are not getting value for money. So, I don't know, like, can we sack anyone? Can we hold anyone accountable to this? Is anyone going to be held to task? And went, hey lads, you remember that rate that you offered the hotels? You kind of screwed up there. It's your department. It's your fault. It's you. And what's frightening is that the public sector determine everything for the private sector, from wage rates, tax rates, VAT rates, corporation tax levels. You are the guys who decide all that for the private sector, but nobody in the private sector can hold you accountable for gross incompetence. Like, you talk about democracy. Yes, we vote people in. Yes, you've got this democratic system that can get yourselves back into power. But democracy is not having incompetency running the show, and that's what we're supposed to just deal with. Well, you voted us in, so tough. That's not right, is it? Like, it's just, I'm talking to so many business people at the moment who are going through absolute hell. Over 3,500 businesses across the board, across all different sectors, have closed so far in the first 4 months of this year. And you can turn around and say that happens every year. But yes, of course it happens every year. And yes, of course there are other places that are opening up. But the difference being this year is the type of businesses that are closing and going bust. Long-standing family-run businesses throughout rural Ireland, because tourism has been decimated. The knock-on effect is causing all kinds of different industries and all kinds of different sectors to close and to go bust. And our Taoiseach comes out and says, listen, you're not getting value for money with this whole iPass thing. And yeah, I know it was us who negotiated the rates, but sure, look, we'll just show up and go to work tomorrow anyway, won't we? We still get paid at the end of the week, don't we? And nobody held accountable, nobody taken to task, and nobody can take these guys aside and turn around and say, you're fired. It is beyond frustrating. It is beyond frustrating. Certainly when you're trying to run your own business and this is the kind of crap you listen to and this is the kind of crap you hear. Our Taoiseach coming out. I don't blame him. I'm just saying that our Taoiseach, the second in charge, second in command of the country, comes out today to tell the country you're not getting value for these ridiculous rates. And that's only the accommodation rates I'm talking about. If they're doing that, how much are they giving? What are the crazy rates they're giving for these guys to be driven around the place, to be fed, to be given free? We know, like how much money is being squandered and wasted. And now our Taoiseach has just admitted it. But it's the government who negotiated these rates. And nothing will happen to them. Anyway, I try to stay calm. I try to really, really stay calm. But when I'm listening to so many people telling me that they're in trouble in business and so much money is being squandered, but there's no money to cut VAT in food, there's no money to give grants to businesses to try and dig them out of a hole, there's no money left to turn around and, kind of write off half the rates, but we can squander and waste billions on this joke that is, call it whatever you want, I like to call it profiteering from human trafficking. We can get away with all that, no problems. But we've no money to help out the Indigenous Irish businesses that are seriously struggling. Again, maybe it's just me. Maybe I think too much. Maybe I let this shit get into my head too much. Is it just me? Does anybody else see this? Does anybody else think the same thing? As always, let me know in the comments. I love to hear it. Really appreciate it. And if you're not following me already, give me a little follow on TikTok. It'd be great. Yeah. Incompetence is, never held accountable. Anyway, that's the country we're living in now at the moment. Let me know what you think. Am I exaggerating? Am I, overreacting? Have I lost the plot? Or am I right? Can't wait to hear. Have a great day.